The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Very dangerous football team, very, very capable. Started off the year kind of young on defense, and boy, they're playing really well now. They're 6-7 games into the season and are playing very well. And offensively, they've got some great weapons: the quarterback, and receivers, and the running back, and a veteran offensive line, and so very capable football team. They're scary, and so we're going to have to. It's going to be more than one of those show up and play deals. We're going to have to come and bring our best game, and so we got a challenge, and we're looking forward to it. When in doubt, unplug. I'd be kicking right now if there was some Coke and if there was some Dr. Pepper in there, but there's not. Don't matter. That Coke can go to waste. Yeah.
Nelson Hughes, the quarterback.
Great quarterback.
What makes him so dangerous?
Well, he's an operator. He's just one of those guys that he's got good speed. He's got a strong arm. He's got game experience. He seems to know in that offense, which is a pretty elaborate offense, where to get the ball at the right time, and he's just good operator.
It doesn't seem like they've missed a beat offensively in spite of losing Freddie Martino to the Atlanta Falcons. True or false?
Well, I think it's true. They've just going a little bit more by committee on receivers, but they've got some very, very capable receivers. They got good team speed. I'm telling you, they're a dangerous football team.
Is this the most complete offense that you've faced thus far?
Probably, as far as big game people at running back, big game people at receiver. Probably so. They're a very capable team.
Defensively, you have a lot of momentum from that second half from the Tusculum game. How do you continue that progress and process from only letting the Pioneers gain 14 yards in the second half?
Well, we talked yesterday in our team meeting that we think the light came on for some people. And when the light comes on, and that's what you always hope for. You hope for some guys to see the light, and all at once understand some things, some concepts, and some things that we're asking them to do and why we're asking them to do it, and give us the effort that it takes to do it. And I thought this second half against Tusculum, we had some that saw the light.
What's homecoming mean in general to you now in your 35th year here on this campus?
Well, it usually means people. That's just a whole bunch of people that you haven't seen in a while, and people that you have a lot of respect for, people that have touched your life. So it's just a special time as far as kind of a reunion time.
Along the lines defensively, look like guys are really understanding how to disguise their blitz packages. Is that something that you'll feel more comfortable with the rest of the year, maybe bring a little more pressure? Well,
we've talked about that, and the reason we haven't as much as we have is, the first thing you got to do, you got to get lined up, and we've cut back on so many things just to base so we could get lined up right, and people don't realize how inexperienced we were on defense and still are. We're talking about playing brand new people at many positions, and defense is a complicated apparatus now when you're trying to match up five wides and empty backfields and an option game and pass options and 4 layers on a pass pattern, and there's just a lot involved in it, and so we have to try our best to keep it simple enough for guys to be able to line up right. So we we're not near as elaborate defensively as we'd like to be, but we're starting to block and tackle. We're starting to tackle better than we were. And we only had 7 missed tackles Saturday, and that's the record for this year. And boy, how exciting is that? 2 turnovers. Now we're going to score on defense one of these days. Yep.
You look at the running back spot, you've seen a lot of really good running backs and running backs that have had really good years. How do you describe what Andy Hibbett's doing so far this year?
Well, he's a Trojan. I mean, I would call him a mule, but to hurt his feelings. He's a thoroughbred. I mean, he's a guy that is got some ability and not will and don't mind giving it up for the sake of everybody else.
Something that gets lost, I think, at this point in the season is the offensive line. You lost Lucas Mathis and Alex Taylor from last year. How do you think that the 5 guys up there are performing to this point in the season?
Well, they're doing a good job. We're still making some mistakes that we shouldn't make, and we certainly don't believe that we've arrived at that position. But it's fun to watch them play, and it was fun Saturday in that mud to watch. Their badge of honor is how muddy they were and how nasty they were. And to see them enjoy that so much sure made it enjoyable for me to watch them.
You look at the special teams and a couple missed extra points this week, but are you happy with where the kickoff coverage has come, despite allowing that touchdown return over the weekend? Are you happy with how they've kind of performed over the last couple of weeks?
No. We've made some progress, but we're still hot and cold. Anytime you give up a touchdown a kickoff for a touchdown, which was a turning point in that ball game, I'm not happy with that at all. But we keep tweaking a little bit with personnel and keep tweaking with some things, and you got to give Tusculum credit. They had a good scheme against and our kicker wasn't getting it kicked where it needed to be kicked, and what we're doing, if we don't get the ball kicked to the right place, then we got some bad issues. And so it was a whole combination of things again. But there's nothing wrong with the effort. We'll get it done.
Defensively for North Greenville, you kind of alluded to it earlier, but 8 freshmen and sophomores start this year. Who's the one stand out to you?
Well, I've been real impressed with their secondary. Their secondary is really they're really making a lot of plays, and they got some quicks, and they're flying all over the place. And so I know last year we were able to complete some passes on them, and hopefully we'll be able to do that this year. But it'll be a bigger challenge than it was last year.
You talk about that. Dre had more than 200 yards passing. Anthony Eubanks caught 8 balls. What was it last year that enabled you to be so successful through the air?
Well, I think I thought the execution was good. Anthony was on a roll. He was catching everything we threw to him, and he turned a slant into a 60-yarder, and Dre really threw the ball well last year. He was very accurate over there last year.
What about Sam Houston, their middle linebacker, leads the way already with 84 tackles this year?
Well, he's a good football player. You can't have 84 tackles after 7 games if you hadn't done something right. So he's around the football almost every play.
You're 2/3 of the way through the season. What other steps do you want your players to take internally as you come down the home stretch?
Well, just continue to improve and to continue to grow. We, like I say, I think we had some guys that the light came on this past week, and we certainly don't need to get anybody to the dimmer switch and start dimming the lights. We need to get brighter and brighter. We need to keep going. We need to keep developing. But last week's game was good for us, the second half especially, and I think we'll just see how we practice this week, because that's going to be a key to I can answer your questions a whole lot better Thursday or Friday after we practice a couple of days to see how these guys are going to respond.
You talk about the light switch coming on. Is there anybody specifically that you could?
David Way. David Way was quite remarkable in this ball game, and he answered the call in ways that we have been very, very hopeful that he would answer the call. And we got a better performance out of Chris Dansby. We got some good play out of Jerry McLeese. Emmanuel Orange made a big play for us, and so I think hope they can build on it. Both defensive ends, William Alderman and Javaris Neal, both put a lot of pressure on the quarterback in the second half.